I think Yogendra ji is there with us for just a few minutes. So, if with everyone's permission, I'm just yes. I'm just going to go to him very quickly. Yogendra ji, welcome to the program. I want to start by asking you, थोड़ी picture में confusion है. Here's what we know. Telangana is being swept by the Congress, and I think you had written an article saying that it is the untold story of this election. But Madhya Pradesh is set to go to, if these numbers hold, to the BJP. Rajasthan, the Congress is in the lead, but there is some confusion on the final gap because two different sources are giving us two different numbers.
BJP in the lead, Barka, BJP in the lead, Rajasthan.
Sorry, did I say that wrong? I meant the BJP
yes,
is in the
Congress.
lead.
Yeah,
I beg your pardon. The BJP is very clearly in the lead in Rajasthan, but the gap has to be settled. और छत्तीसगढ़ को लेके सबसे ज्यादा कंफ्यूजन है, जहां पे नेक एंड नेक है और हर राउंड के बाद हमारी एजेंसी के मुताबिक नंबर्स बदल रहे हैं. योगेंद्र यादव, the big picture when you look at this, as someone who's been a convener, national convener of the Bharat Jodo Abhiyan, when you look at these numbers, what would you say?
But as you rightly say, the situation in Telangana is quite clear, and so it is in Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh clearly going BJP way, Telangana clearly going Congress's way. In Rajasthan, the only confusion is, only uncertainty as of now is whether BJP will get a clear majority on its own or will fall just short of majority. That's the only confusion part of it. In Chhattisgarh, as you rightly said, there is sort of seesaw. Probably Congress a little ahead, maybe scraped through, but not entirely. Now, if we look at the big picture, Barkha, to my mind, this election was not so much about deciding the BJP's strength. BJP is strong in these areas. The question for BJP was, will it be able to break through Telangana? And will BJP be able to do what it did in West Bengal in Telangana? The answer is no, it's not. In South, BJP is still looking for one proper entry because Karnataka being closed now. In these northern states, the real question was whether Congress will be able to win these elections, all three of which were winnable for the Congress to begin with. In Rajasthan, the fact is that Ashok Gehlot government was popular, so was Ashok Gehlot himself. In principle, Congress could have won this election. In Madhya Pradesh, when I traveled 3-4 months ago, everyone spoke about Badlav. So yes, in principle, Congress could have won. In Chhattisgarh, Baghel had good schemes and some politically smart strategy. Once again, Congress should have won it. So the real question is, why did the Congress not manage to convert its potential strength into real strength in these areas? You could blame, and to my mind, 2 or 3 patterns are emerging. Number one, in the case of Rajasthan, and I think partly in Madhya Pradesh, but only partly, inability to do your ticket distribution in a way that would suit the party. Because in Rajasthan, it was quite clear that there was strong anti-incumbency against the sitting MLAs, not so much against the chief minister. BJP managed to distribute its tickets in a way that was smart and sensible. In Madhya Pradesh, about Congress, you wouldn't be able to say that, especially in Rajasthan, where Congress ended up giving tickets to many of the sitting MLAs, against which it was quite clear that there was strong anti-incumbency. In Rajasthan, again, 2 simple alliances that could have been struck, one with CPIM, another with Bharatiya Adivasi Party, both of which account for at least 10 to 12 seats as of now. At least in 10 or 12 seats, Congress is suffering just because of not having these 2 alliances. These are the kind of things. But the other 2 factors I wanted to mention quickly. One is Congress's inability to connect to the OBC wind. For the first time, Madhya Pradesh has seen a bit of rise of the OBC. This was a great opportunity for Congress. To my mind, Congress failed to tap into that. And 2, both in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, in the Adivasi areas, Congress is doing unexpectedly poorly. These are things that should worry the Congress party.
Can I just bring in Yogendra ji, Dilip Cherian, because just 2 minutes before you joined, Dilip was making the point that the Telangana's resounding victory will not politically compensate for the Congress's bid for relevance and assertion in sort of what is called loosely the Hindi heartland. And Dilip, if you just want to respond to what Yogendra has said, and then I'll take it back to Yogendra and then open it up for the others. Dilip?
I respect, understand, and appreciate what Yogendra just said. And Yogendra has traveled a lot more on the ground than many other people. But I think that the big message for me remains that, leaders like Kamal Nath probably are leaders who are not connecting with the um, the people who are undecided, the new voter, and that is a message that the Congress will have to take to heart. They are unable to connect with them. They are getting the kind of people who come out and speak in front of cameras, talk to visiting journalists, but the new voter and the reasonably silent voter is not finding the connection with a certain kind of Congress leader. Is it experience? Is it the need to be on the ground? And you can't blame Kamal for not having been on the ground. This is a battle that he has actually fought squarely and personally and quite strongly. This means that despite every effort, that battle is not being won as we see the results just now. The reason I mentioned that the Telangana factor is not a compensatory factor is because in Telangana, anyone who has traveled there will tell you that the Congress has been able to cash in on the fact that the division of the state was something that they initiated, and people of Telangana respect the fact that
Right.
effort, efforts to bring in others, to restore Andhra style politics didn't work in Telangana. I think the Congress
Okay.
did well by staying there.
Yogendra Yadav, if I could come back to you, you made the point about alliances, that there could have been alliances. You made the point about the OBC vote. Something we haven't spoken about is Hindutva. Kamal Nath ran a very visibly religious campaign. The phrase soft Hindutva has now entered our political lexicon. There are those who feel that imitating the BJP may not give the Congress results, but it's confusing because in Telangana, Revant Reddy is a former ABVP guy who's now poised to become the chief minister of Telangana. So this debate continues. If you were to look at this, are we now looking at a north-south divide in politics? Are we looking at a familiar ideological debate over whether soft Hindutva works? And how concerned are you at the Congress's inability to score in the Hindi heartland while being able to do relatively better in the southern states?
Let's first pick up the southern issue. I have a slight disagreement with Dilip. The disagreement is this, that, if Congress had to cash on the fact that Congress made Telangana, then it should have done 10 years ago. It should have done 5 years ago. The fact is that Congress could not. This time, if the Congress has been able to remind people of that, it is not so much the fact that Congress had given Telangana statehood. The real thing that has clicked is Congress has put in enormous energy. Congress, which was written off. Honestly, a year ago, if you went to Telangana, everyone said BJP was number 2. Congress had been relegated to number 3, that Congress was going to meet the same fate that it had met in Bengal, that it had met in Andhra Pradesh. If Congress could come back from that situation, it speaks about picking a new and energetic leader. It is some credit should go to Bharat Jodo Yatra. Something should be attributed to Karnataka's victory, which has a spillover effect on Telangana, and a lot of energy that Congress put in. So yes, that does have a meaning. And Barkha, responding to what you said, there appears to now be a very clear north-south divide, because the gates for South have, in a sense, been closed for the BJP with this last major bid in Telangana not coming the BJP's way. But the real important question that Congress leadership will have to face is about inability in North India, despite
Yeah.
very reasonable chances. You know, in Uttar Pradesh, Congress can say, we don't have a chance. Fair enough.
Yeah.
In Bihar, they can say, we are nowhere right now. It takes a long time. But this is not what you can say about Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. To my mind, this is not about soft Hindutva. I don't think BJP's victory is a victory of Hindutva. I don't think Kamal Nath's failure is a failure of his soft Hindutva line. The simple fact is these were not the real issues. The issues were about projecting a hope to the people. Congress can say that, look, in Rajasthan, it's a standard roti palatne ki baat hai. वो पहले भी
जी.
होती थी, बार फिर हो गई. But if that was the case, Congress should have been able to, and it is a fact that Ashok Gehlot's government has done much better than Ashok Gehlot did in the last two previous occasions. Because last two
Yeah.
times, not only did he lose, he lost very, very badly, and he's had the dubious distinction of running good governments and losing elections very badly.
So,
It is not
so you
so
made-
bad this time. Yeah.
Yeah, you made 2 points. I want to just bring in, I know, Yogendra, you're there for just 5 more minutes, but I want Sandip Ghosh to come in with one comment, and then I want you to respond to that. You made 2 comments. You said the gateway of the South is closed to the BJP. We have to see what happens in Karnataka, in particular in the Lok Sabha, where the BJP did quite well the last time. And you said the Congress must introspect or think about its inability to score in the North. Sandip, I bring you in because you, despite being a Modi supporter, were not happy. You were not admiring of how the BJP had run its campaign in Rajasthan. The BJP seems to have managed, nevertheless. Your thoughts of the big picture that's emerging, Sandip, before I take it back to Yogendra ji.
See, Barkha, they say hindsight is 20/20 correct, but it's not so, I think, when you're wearing tinted glasses. So some panelists are wearing tinted glasses even while applying hindsight. They're today blaming Rajasthan's Congress's thing on ticket distribution, but if anybody had a problem in ticket distribution, it was the BJP. The kind of backlash they had, pushback they had on ticket distribution, the kind of pushback they had on the central leadership coming into vote, was way more than what the Congress failed. So the reasons have to be, you have to probe much deeper rather than just write it off to the ticket distribution and anti-incumbency against local people. There is much deeper factors, and it cannot also be said about Bazi Palatna hai, that sort of a thing. Most, I think the ridiculous argument is to say BJP's doors are closed for South India. Even when Congress ruled Karnataka, BJP had a high score of Lok Sabha seats. And if anybody thought, especially psephologists, that BJP was trying to win Telangana, I don't think they could have been more off the mark. BJP's only objective there was to, they have managed to raise a 6% to 14% or 15%. That's a huge raise. And their objective there was to split the anti-incumbency vote from Congress. And they had to raise their salience in Telangana to be able to make something in the Lok Sabha thing. Their objective was certainly not, I think they would not have been unrealistic to think they would form the government, irrespective of what they would be saying. That they went on putting so much energy till the end was, unless they again raise the salience, they will be out of the race in Lok Sabha, and whatever they will strike, BRS, etc., can happen. So last thing, so therefore, to say so categorically BJP's door is shut in south of India would be as naive. The best Congress can now say is, I think Congress's line will be, Rahul Gandhi put his energy in Telangana, so they have done well. Other places, Gehlot and Kamal Nath kept him away, so they have done poorly. That's the next one you'll hear. Congress did not put any less energy in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, especially, you might say Rajasthan. Money power also. Money power in Chhattisgarh. Congress cannot complain there, they didn't have the money.
Let me just get a last comment from Yogendra Yadav. We actually have a BJP leader from the south of India while we're talking about this, but I just want Yogendra Yadav to respond to what he's heard from both Sandip Ghosh and Dilip Cherian. The Modi factor, we haven't spoken about it. Many political pundits thought that the BJP was making a critical mistake, Yogendra Yadav, by sidelining its state-level leadership, whether in Rajasthan or in Madhya Pradesh. If these numbers hold, what it shows is it didn't matter. It just simply didn't matter that the BJP did not declare a chief ministerial candidate. Even more compelling, if Chhattisgarh, and I'm again saying many caveats, Chhattisgarh mein clarity nahi hai, if Chhattisgarh also goes the BJP way, then even more, Raman Singh was such a low-key counter to the high-profile Bhupesh Baghel. So everybody will have to redo their punditry. Do we need to talk about the Modi factor, which we haven't spoken about? Yogendra Yadav.
Barkha, just on Telangana, I wouldn't know BJP's intentions as closely as Mr. Ghosh would, so I would bow to him. My own sense was that BJP was trying to do a West Bengal in Telangana. BJP saw that they had done decently in the Lok Sabha election, that this was the one state where they had potentials to go up further. And the whole strategy, from what I could see last year, was to pump Telangana with money, with energy, with propaganda, and aim for number one and end up with a very decent number two, which is what I thought BJP's strategy was till the time they got rid of their president of the state unit, which is where BJP's entire strategy started going wrong. So I probably don't know as well the BJP as well as he would. I'm just speaking from what I saw the signals on the ground, and these look very obvious signals. At some stage, BJP said, all right, now Congress is emerging, maybe best to give BRS a chance. And BJP did step back. And this is not me alleging this. These are BJP own state leaders saying that, why has my party withdrawn? Why is my party not going straight on the BRS? So that's so far. Is it permanently a closure of the BJP in South? No. But is it closing of door for 2024? In significant ways, yes, because BJP's Telangana was the one state where BJP had room to grow in a big way in the Lok Sabha election. That strategy has backfired. Karnataka, BJP, I'm not saying BJP would be wiped out in Karnataka, but BJP now has a much difficult task than it ever did. So despite several attempts for a real breakthrough in the South, it's not working out for the BJP. That's a fact. But anyway, that does not take away from the bigger story. The bigger story is Congress's inability to convert winnable elections into victory. Yeah, I think Mr. Ghosh is absolutely right to say that the factional squabble within the Rajasthan BJP was much more than the Congress's factional squabble. So we should not blame the factional bit at all, bit majorly. When I spoke of smart candidate selection, it was Madhya Pradesh. I think Madhya Pradesh, BJP showed a certain overall strategy, something that you could not accuse Congress of. In Madhya Pradesh, BJP knew what it was doing. In Rajasthan, I do think that finally this thing of changeover, and this is not my interpretation, this has been happening for the last 30 years. Every single ruling party has been voted out, no matter what. And this required Congress to put in some additional energy, additional imagination. Simply saying we have some wonderful schemes, and incidentally, Chiranjeevi's scheme was a wonderful scheme. And it is really a pity that a government that has had such strong welfare schemes is being voted out. But the simple political lesson is having a good scheme is not enough to win elections. You have to convert that into a message. You have to convert that into political organization, both of which Congress failed to do. And those are the things Congress really needs to think about.
Okay, before we let you go, and very briefly, Yogendra Yadav, as a critic of the government, a supporter, as it were, of the opposition politics, a convener of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, you made a very important point. You said the Congress needs to think about its inability to convert winnable elections into victories. Between now and 2024, what's the biggest challenge for the opposition?
Look, what is the real strength of the Congress in North India, in all these states, or in fact throughout the country? The strength is that Congress is the party of the bottom of the pyramid. Congress, at least in whatever votes Congress gets disproportionately larger number of votes from the poor, from the minorities, from the marginalized sectors as SC, ST, and OBC. The difficulty is that Congress's political strategy is not aligned to this reality. So this is the one real challenge. Rahul Gandhi speaks about OBC caste census. Do Congress workers on the ground at all know what caste census is? Do they talk about it? At least I didn't hear them talking about it. Rahul Gandhi speaks about Adani, launches a very sharp attack on crony capitalism. Do Congress's own chief ministers and their own candidates actually carry that forward? At least I did not hear that. So unless there is that alignment of the larger picture, of the alignment of the party with its own vote base, alignment of its policies and its communication with that, otherwise Congress would have the kind of disappointments that it has seen today.
Okay, I think the last point is very important, that are people on the ground even talking about the issues that Rahul Gandhi has made front and central? You named 2 points, 2 issues: caste census and Adani. Are Congress-run states looking at Adani in the same way? Yogendra Yadav, we're going to let you go. Thank you very much. We'll see you again later in the day.